The Spurs go down yesterday, Golden State, and what appeared to be kind of an emotionless rebound game from a Friday night where everything went spectacular. So let's focus on the positive, shall we? Wemby did something extraordinary on Friday night, the likes of which never before or rarely seen, and that was topped by another dude. As Jalen Brunson went and got 61, Wemby went 40 and 20 with 7 assists. And what was one of those games, Ryan, our Saving Private Ryan, our digital hero, was at the game. And right about, I guess it was about third quarter, there's a text like, dude, I'm at the game. This place is nuts. So,
yeah,
I watched it on tape delay at about midnight. So I didn't get the same excitement. I'd, watched a lot of basketball prior. And it was nuts. It was extraordinary. And Wemby is reaching levels at which even in Pops and RCs and everybody's wildest dreams, I don't think we thought we'd see this soon.
We're talking about one of the 10 best players in the NBA now.
Yes.
Right.
No question. I think he's top 5. I think he's all NBA.
We had thrown out 15, and I know people are kind of nervous and slow to throw this or that out or whatever, but there is just no question. And Friday night felt like the first. Sometimes in sports, a game is not a game, because a game by definition is a contest. Sometimes in sports, a game is a decision. Right. And so it felt like on Friday night, Wemby made a decision, right? Like, this is going to go one way ultimately, and that is Victor's way. Now, I know it got a little sloppy and a little touch and go ultimately,
but yeah.
But when he is in his bag, I don't know of a more dangerous player. I mean, you could go one a certain flavor, I suppose, if when Luka's in Super Saiyan mode, and you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of pick your flavor based on the moment, but holy crap. I mean, it was, and to get the third win in a row, when everyone, ourselves included, doubted that it was not even doubted, proclaimed that it was not possible. It was a week. They went a whole week with good vibes, good energy. They knocked off the Suns and the Knicks. I mean, on either side of that little streak there. And it felt like a great way to end the season.
Yeah.
Not in a formal sense or a literal sense, but in an informal way.
I think this is a great question there on the Brigade Bar. Adam, do you think the way the Spurs have been playing lately, the front office changes their approach just a tad in the offseason?
They better not.
Adam, you know what? There is something to that. And I don't know which way you turn. I do know that whatever decision you make has been made a whole lot easier by what we're seeing here. Because, there's this nagging question about the offense with him and without him. And I think that's still going to be something that needs to be fixed. But apart from that and the record, which, anyway, I think this has been unmitigated. This has been an absolute success on a personal level for Wemby. And the way he's doing it, we talk about the most dangerous guy in the NBA yesterday, or Friday, 14 in the paint, 14 points in the paint, 4 points on jump shots from the mid-range, 12 points on three-pointers, and 10 points on free throws. He made 6 jumpers on Friday. It was the most in a game this season. So he's hitting at every level. And he is only, what are we at, 67, 68 games into his professional career. 66 games into his professional career. It is ridiculous what we're seeing and the way that he's going about getting it. And then let's talk about the chunking the ball at the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Which, I get the general badassery of what he did.
So do you want to hear the NBA's statement, though?
Yeah, he got a letter yesterday, 25K.
This is from NBA Communications, March 31st, 2024. San Antonio Spurs forward center. That's how they've defined him, by the way, forward center. Victor Wembanyama has been fined $25,000 for throwing the game ball into the spectator stands. It was announced today by Joe Dumars, Executive Vice President, Head of Basketball Operations. The incident occurred following the conclusion of the Spurs' 130-126 overtime victory over the New York Knicks on March 29th at Frost Bank Center. Oh, by the way, to view the incident, click here. because we definitely want the traction and the interaction
Oh, yeah,
and
we
the
don't wanna.
engagement from it. But what a loser thing to find him for this. What a bunch of get
Dude,
off my
okay,
lawn
you're
losers.
right.
Y'all
You're
can all
right. It
pop
is.
rocks.
You are exactly right. I am not anti-celebrating, and if anybody earned the right to do that, but the problem with what he did was Brunson just got 61 on the road, and he had just set a Knicks or tied an all-time Knicks record, and he did it on the road.
Okay.
I mean, just be a bro. Let him have the ball. There's going to be times, Wemby, it's going to happen. You're going to set some kind of record that matters to you.
Do you
And
think
somebody might grab the ball and chunk it into the stands. This has already happened once this year, and the NBA came down on that crap. Don't do that.
the Giannis thing?
Yeah, and the kid that had made us Oscar Tshiebwe from the Indianapolis Pacers makes a bucket in his first of his NBA career at the same time as Giannis goes out for what, 40, 50, something ridiculous. And they give him the game ball to stroll off. Like,
do you think that Wemby in the
no, he didn't, and I'm not mad at him right now. I celebrate the badassery. But today I'm like, bro, from now on.
I think you're talking out of both sides of your mouth a little bit here.
I think that I felt bad.
These can be two separate emotions. Do you think, yes or no, Wemby understood the context of
he had no
Jalen's night?
No.
So he had no idea. So
I'm not mad at him. I'm just counseling him like, bro.
There's no ill will. There's simple, like, Herculean scream of emotion.
Oh no,
right?
the Knicks were talking. There was something to it. That was a challenge win.
Right. This was a gladiator type moment.
No, I get the badassery. I do.
Then there's nothing.
But I get the fine too. I think that's a polite reminder, like you're professional.
The fine is such a loser mentality to fine him for this. This is really stupid.
A $25K is change in his pocket. Just remember, bro, that you're professional, and these are, this dude did do something pretty special, pretty spectacular. Don't get lost.
Again, he seemingly didn't know that.
From now on, that's all I'm saying is remember. I want you to remember.
He's supposed to stop at the moment they finish an overtime victory against a contending team in the East and go, wait a minute, did anybody here have a career game? If not, okay, I have the green light. Great. Now I'm going to check the ball into the crowd.
That's what a professional would do. Yes.
This is the most get off my lawn.
This is a sound of this is him actually talking about it.
Surprised. Let's say when I threw the ball, I thought maybe I remember players being fine for this, but it was always in they threw it always in a bad way. I threw it to make some guys' day, but it's it's funny. It's just funny. But after that, I was like, no, that's fine. Like I threw it to please somebody. It's not like I'm trying to hurt or
throwing it at somebody.
Yeah,
They don't care about intent, I guess, on that.
Apparently.
See, that wasn't the tone of the question. It wasn't about throwing it to the stands. It was the fact that maybe a dude had earned that ball to take home.
Dude, nobody is concerned about this. Look, Jalen Brunson won a national title, 5 miles away. I mean, you know what I mean? He's completely fine.
Dude, I hit 61 in an NBA game. I'd kind of like to have the ball.
Again, the idea that Wemby's supposed to be aware of all this in the moment.
I appreciate the fact that he wasn't. I'm not mad at him now, but from now on, kind of be aware of the moment. You knew that dude was going off. You watched.
What are you talking about? Be aware of the moment. He encapsulated the moment. The moment required exertion. The moment required euphoria. The moment required release, and that's what he did. It was we will remember that forever.
The flex, the Timmy flex.
Yeah, hell yeah, he's gonna flex.
I get you. I'm with you. That was awesome. Just remember, you're not the only guy there. I'm just counseling the dude. Just don't do that. I feel bad for Brunson now. You made the record book, but there's nothing in the hall. There's nothing to go.
You feel bad for him and have great empathy for your fellow man. But,
I do. We beat you. And I'll tell you, I believe that it was a rope-a-dope kind of a game. We didn't do enough to try to shut that, although we were bumbling our way to the finish there to really shut him down.
I have a quote I would like to read you, Robert, if you're
I'm ready.
right with this.
I'm ready.
So this isn't about Friday night, although it was fantastic. This is about last night. The Spurs lost. They fell, to be very clear, against a Warriors team that's still struggling. And anyway, here we go. This is this is Steve Kerr. I think Steph was really motivated to play well in front of his kids in Aisha. Obviously, it was Easter. He played a great game. There was a lot of pressure on him out there. Trey Jones does a really good job defensively. He talking about Steph. He found a way to get free and hit some big shots. Who was it that Steve Kerr said did a great job defensively?
You notice he
on Steph Curry?
complimented the guy that got the shot taken on him.
Who was it? I just want to know who.
It's
who
kind
was
of a
it that Steve
backwards
Kerr
compliment.
Gave
Come on,
flowers
man.
to last night.
Oh, that was
I just want to know.
Dude, that's not the way you want to be complimented.
I just
Yeah,
want
he's
to
a
know
great defender, but that shot that won it was over him. Okay. So
Wow.
I
So
think that was some flowers for Steph.
To
That
give
was
Trey Jones
backhanded.
flowers includes literally all of us except for you and Steve Kerr. Just so you know, like the island you're
You
on.
know, he's a hell of a defender. I was shocked that Steph hit that shot over Trey Jones because Trey, legendary defender.
Wow.
I think that was flowers.
You
for
know,
his
you were for a
embattled
while. You were like, I
star.
don't know why I get painted as this Trey Jones hater. This is why. Just so you're fully aware.
Well,
This is why.
I understand the value of Trey's defense, but hey, you know, Steph made that huge jump shot over that tenacious defender, Trey Jones. Hey, okay.
Well.
I'm not mad at Trey. Steph's gonna make that shot over anybody, is what I'm saying. You can throw flowers for Trey. Yeah, great. But that's a Hall of Famer. That's a Mount Rushmore jump shooter. Maybe should have been a step closer. But yeah, hey, no, you're a great defender, though.
I think that you need to give Trey Jones some props. And I'm not going to rest until it happens.
No, the honest truth is you don't go get 40 like Wemby does without Trey Jones doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing great. But that was a classic NBA backhanded pat on the back to Steph. Not, hey, that's that Trey Jones. He had Steph locked down till that bitter end, till he hit that shot to win it. Locked down.
Hater.
Yeah, I'm not a hater. I thought this Friday night was the exclamation point to the season. To me, it is, and there is some question. Jeremy Sohan's hurt.
It felt like the last real time, you know, that like maybe, you know, when you graduate high school and, you know, some people are going here to college, some people are going there to college. And so it's, all right, one last party, you know, one last get together, right? Like, because next time Jenkins isn't going to be here and the time after that, Thompson's not going to be here. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's like, this is the crew getting together one last time. And it was great. And that's why like last night didn't hurt all too much, even though the third quarter hurt a lot. But well, it was a good ceremonial end of the season. It was a banquet. You know what I'm saying? Friday night was a banquet to end the 2023-2024 season.
Sadly, we still have more games, and it doesn't appear Sohan's going to be there. We saw the ankle. He's got what they're calling an impingement, which I don't ever want to be impinged on anything. And you know, it sounds drastic. Could miss the rest of the season, which is about a week.
Right.
But it does appear that his impinged ankle will preclude him from completing the 23 or 24 regular season. More news as it becomes available. We will break it. But it does appear that Sohan, who had left with an ankle injury, could be done for the year with what has been called an ankle impingement.
So Spurs sitting on 18 wins.
Not going to happen.
They have 7 to go. They need 2 wins to tie. Okay. 3 to not be associated with the worst record at all. So Denver on Tuesday.
I mean, I might bet them to cover.
No. At New Orleans on Friday. That's possible. Like that's, you know, if we have to define impossible and possible, New Orleans is possible, right?
See, the problem we're running into now is playoff seeding. These games, these are playoff games to a lot of teams.
That's fair. That's a great point.
We don't need. I mean, we're already kind of screwed with no Toronto pick. That's not going to happen. So that's why I felt like Friday night, yee, we did it, and then Sunday certainly felt like, oh yeah, we got another game. We got a couple more games.
I mean,
so
that's a fair way of looking at it.
So it's hard for me to. Well, I will say this: Wemby's capable of winning 4 or 5 on his own if he runs on this. If he keeps at this rate. But I'm about hanging him up, man. If I never saw him for the rest of the season, I would be fine.
If you didn't see Wemby till October,
Yeah,
you're
if he's
saying
done.
you're good.
If he's done,
Well, in
I'd
a
go
Spurs
out.
jersey.
Yeah.
I think
So
I
after
agree with
Denver, who do
that.
we got?
So at Denver, at New Orleans, we said.
Yeah.
And then only one of the next 5 are at home. And it is Sunday against Philly.
I know
need it.
that they're chasing. I know that Embiid is thereabouts. I know they wouldn't bring him back on the road. Philadelphia has been in a free fall. That could happen. That's one. So there's 2. So we might.
I think they get one of New Orleans and Philly. That's they get
and
one
there's
of
a
those
Detroit
2.
game in there too that we
So
can't.
hang on, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
At Memphis, definitely possible.
Yeah, I think. But see, now we're getting to the point of why.
Hold
now
on.
we're starting to count ping pong balls. That these you get to the point of I don't care whether we tie it or not. Although I would do anything to be on a team that anything but be the worst. I'll kiss my sister and go second, but
wow,
or
that
tie
was
for the worst.
A really deep introspection at who you are as a
Well, you know what they say about ties. It's nice, but
so at Memphis again, possible. At Oklahoma City, I won't give them that
Zion
one.
has been balling Claymore.
Then Denver at home on next Friday, and then next Sunday, Masters Sunday, they get the Pistons. And so I'm willing to give them Memphis and Detroit, which is I think if say they lose Denver, New Orleans play, so they not drop the next 3 in a row, and then they beat the Grizzlies. That would give them 19. So that could set up a scenario where, game 82 is against the Pistons to either be in there by yourselves or tie it.
What I say, if it does, here's what we
drama.
do. I put it out there that if it does come down to that last game, us in Detroit, that
and you're saying you're sitting on 19 wins. At that moment.
Make our G League teams play each other. Let's bring up both full-on G League squads and let them decide. That would be my answer to. So if we're literally, let's let the backups to the backups to the backups decide whether this is the worst team. It's like letting the walk-ons and the team managers play in that last game. Just what? Let's see what we got here. So if we get down to Detroit and we have 19 wins, I want the Austin Spurs to represent this team.
It would be the actual NBA game equivalent of when they put the babies on the court.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like just okay, crawl, come to mama. You know what I mean? Like it would be the extrapolation of that. But I think that's very possible. That would be some peak drama.
Bring them all up, baby. I don't know what the contractual stipulations are required to bring up an entire team.
Do you want 20 wins at least to tie
I
the
tie
record?
it. That's what I do want the tie,
so
but I want the Austin
is...
Spurs to get it. I want those guys brought up, a little taste of the limelight, something that matters.
But my question is, tying it is a victory in your mind. Like tying it is
it's
enough,
a tie.
right?
It's kissing your sister. No, it's not a victory by any stretch, but at least I'm not alone down there at the bottom of that list.
That's all I'm saying. You just don't want to be in by yourself.
Yeah,
you're fine if you're
company.
with company.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
So
understanding your position.
That just if we're walking and you and I are side by side and I slip and I'm about to fall into a pool, I'm bringing you with me, man.
Wow.
I'm not going down alone.
I would be Jim Halpert to your.
I
Michael
would be.
Scott
I would be desperate to grab you, man. You wouldn't have time to move.
I would. Out of the way.
I'm that guy. I am the second crab in the bucket. Hey, you ain't going nowhere.